Hi, Happy New Year. 2021, off to an interesting start. But it's got to get better from here. So only time will tell. So I'm going to go ahead and give us just a little countdown so we can all press play at the same time if we're going to use it. As far as equipment is concerned, you'll just need yourself, a couple sets of weights, a pillow or ball, and if you'd like something softer like a mat or even a towel to lay down on. Um, we're not going to do a ton of mat work today. We are going to do a little bit of back work and glute work at the end of class. So we will kind of spend a little bit of time here down on the floor, but not until the very, very last bit. Um, Pardon me. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and press play here on my phone in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Make sure that I can hear it. Okay. Fantastic. So go ahead and separate your feet about hip distance apart. Standing up nice and tall, roll those shoulders back. We're going to take your right ear over towards your right shoulder. I'm trying to let these warm-ups be just that, right? Nothing super strenuous. Listening to your body, trying to find, if there's a tight spot or a really loose spot or a little clinky spot anywhere. And then take a nice deep breath in here. And on your exhale, switch sides. And then again, nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, we'll look down towards the floor. And then one more here, looking up towards the ceiling. And then coming back to the center. From here, both shoulders will roll forward. Good. We've got 3 more. 2. Last one. And then reverse your circle. Go in the opposite direction, rolling them back this time. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. Then from here, go ahead and step those feet nice and close together. We're going to take one forearm on top of the other. You know what's coming. Go ahead and lift one knee up. We go lift and switch. Lift and switch. Lift and switch. Good. Remember to breathe. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I think all of my toes just cracked all at once. Don't know if you heard that at home. It's all good. Good. Remember, getting that leg as high as you can. This is your rocket moment, right? But trying not to crunch down to the leg. Remember, think lower abs, pull up, pull up. Okay, now go ahead and keep those legs going. Stretch those hands up. From here, both elbows will pull down, down. 2 more on each leg, then we'll add a twist. Last one. So here we go. We go across, across. Good for 3, 2. Last one. And come on down. Awesome. Go ahead and grab your ball. We're going to hold it in your hands. And then you can come back to the center. So remember, if you don't have a ball, that's perfectly fine. You can also use like a couch pillow. Fold it in half. It'll give you the same kind of give here, right? So we're going to take the ball between your hands. Elbows will go pretty wide, right? Try not to let them droop down. Try to keep them up. We're going to step your feet out a little wider than your hips. Toes will turn out. Knees will turn out. Remember, squeeze your butt to help you with that. Go ahead and bend those knees about halfway to your lowest point. We're going to start a little squeeze in on the ball and a little pulse down at the same time. We go pulse, pulse. Okay, so this is going to be a little arm warm-up and a little leg warm-up all at the same time. Remember, try to keep your back as flat as you can. Try not to dip forward. Right? One of the easiest ways to know if that's happening, go ahead and pick a point straight ahead Stare it down like you mean it. If you look down, your body's going to go down. So try to look up so you stay up, okay? Now, if you're feeling like you'd like to make this a little bit harder, especially in your upper body, rather than keeping your arms bent, you can straighten them all the way out. It's going to make it a little more strenuous on your pectoral muscles, right? So those chest muscles, a little bit here into the front of the shoulder as well. Good. And when you're ready for it, with those legs, go ahead and get a little lower. And we've got 8 more here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then stay down here. From here, just that right heel is going to lift, lower. Now we're just holding the ball out in front of us. So no squeeze, just extend those arms all the way out. Go lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Good. For 4, 3 more, and then we'll keep that heel all the way up in 2. Heel stays lifted on this last one, and we bounce one more time. We go down, down, down. Same thing. Add again in that little squeeze onto the ball. If it's too much with the arms straight, go ahead and bend them. Good. We've got 8 more on this side. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Go ahead and stay down here. Heel will come down. Left heel this time will lift, lower, lift, lower. Good. See if you can get those hips even a little lower here. Really trying to creep down to your lowest point possible. Same thing, just holding those arms out in front, right? Not squeezing here. And we've got 4 more, and then that heel will stay up in 3, 2. Heel stays lifted on this last one. Go ahead and bounce it down. Down. Adding that squeeze in on the ball. Good. Very nice. We've got 8 to go here. 8, 7, 6 more. Then arms are going to go overhead in 4, 3, 2. Last one. Heel will come down. Hands will come up. Lower those shoulders. Squeeze into your abs. Pull your pelvis forward a little bit. Okay, from here, we're going to take your upper body. Let me show you this from the side. We're going to take your entire upper body and hinge it forward. So we're going to move those hips back. We're going to look down at the floor. Go ahead and look up here for the first one. What we're going to do is take this ball and we're going to drive it into the chest, going down, down, down. This is pretty quick. It's meant to be quick. We want to get that heart rate lifted just a little bit. So trying to exhale every time that ball comes in. Pretty big movement in the legs here. Not ever coming completely straight, but definitely getting pretty low. And we've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Go ahead and stand yourselves all the way up. Move those feet a little closer together. Throw that ball away. Don't actually. Just go ahead and put it on down. So let's go ahead and trade that ball out. We are going to come into some arm work in just a second here. But first we're going to do just kind of some elevated. So go ahead and leave your weights where they are for now. Take your feet right underneath your hips. Slight little bend to both knees. Arms stretch all the way out to the side. Shoulders relax. Abs squeeze in. Little tiny circle. So it's been a little while since we've done a longer no weight, just arm series, which is what we're gonna do now. So just to mentally prepare a little bit here. Remember, if you need it, especially if you start to feel this in your neck or in your throat especially, you can always lower those arms down. You can also take them down, shake them out, come back up when you're ready. And we've got 8 more in this direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now reverse that little tiny circle. I, myself included, I feel like a lot of times, right, we're kind of conditioned to think, oh, okay, I need weights to work out my arms effectively. Right, you know me, I like barre because one of the things that I feel like it really does a good job at is teaching you how to use your own body weight more effectively, which is kind of what we're doing here now. So we'll do 4 more. 3, 2, now no circle, just pulse down. Down, 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 down. Right? And you should start to feel this a bit in the top of the shoulder and the very top going into your neck. Good. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I'm going to show you this from the side. We're going to go ahead and turn those palms to face the back of the room, and then your palms will pulse back, 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 back. This is going to start to warm up your triceps in the back of your arm as well as the back of your shoulder. How you feeling? Starting to burn a little bit? Okay, 8 more, and then we're going to lift your palms up and down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we go. Palm down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. This is going to be a good one for those rotator cuff muscles, both in strengthening them, but also keeping them loose. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Almost there. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and come down. Oh my goodness. Go ahead and roll those shoulders out a little bit. Good. Okay, we're going to give your shoulders a nice little break for a little bit here and come into some bicep work and some tricep work. So go ahead and grab those heavier weights. Come back to where you were. I'm going to give those legs just some time to kind of like recover a little bit here. So really going to focus on just your upper body for now. So feet are about hip distance apart, toes are pointing forward, knees do get a little soft bend. Remember, if you need to move around as we're going throughout this or shake out those legs, kick out those legs, you go right ahead and do so. From here, pelvis takes a tiny tuck forward, roll those shoulders back, palms face each other to lift and lower. Lift and lower. So for focusing first on your posture, right? Standing those shoulders back, your chin up, your rib cage closed, an itty bitty tiny itty little bit of a tuck here just to engage your lower abs as well. And then once you have that, then go ahead and think, what are my biceps doing at the top? Remember, so we release, we squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze. Good. 4 more here, and then we'll go to a half curl into 1 more. So coming all the way down, we come down halfway up, down halfway up. This entire time, trying to keep the top part of your arm, the area from your shoulder to your elbow, relatively still, particularly on the way down, right? A lot of times we want to take those arms and swing them back. Give yourself a little momentum to lift those weights. Try your best to avoid that. Try to keep your elbow pretty still, right? It'll move a little bit. You don't have to be a robot, but try not to let it swing back behind you. And we'll do 4 more here. 3, 2, On this last one, we're going to keep those weights halfway up. From here, we're going to open your forearms to the side, still keeping your palms facing the same direction. So a little different here. We're going to go lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Depending upon your own shoulders, right, both in strength and flexibility, in this position, you might feel your shoulder kind of doing some of that work that we did without the weights. You might feel a little stretch, even just like a little bit of a pull here. If you feel that, don't worry. You're not alone. So lift, lower, lift, lower. That's it for 4, 3, 2, last one. Go ahead and let those weights come all the way back down by your side. Flip your palms forward. We're going to do that series one more time. So starting with that full range, we go lift, lower, lift, lower. Good. And don't forget here, right, finding a little pattern to your breath that feels natural, that feels comfortable. I like to exhale a little bit as I lift the weights. It feels nice sometimes to connect your breath to your movement, put it all together like a nice big puzzle. So we'll do 4, 3, 2. Now this time we're going to lower your weights down halfway to go all the way up, halfway down. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Checking in with your hands here, right? Making sure we're not giving your weights a white knuckle squeeze, right? Holding on to them effectively so you don't lose them or drop them, but making sure you're not overly squeezing the weight. It's just going to make the forearms hurt a little bit more. Good. So we'll do 4 more here. 3, 2, 1 more, coming back down halfway. Forearms are open to the side, and we go lift, lower. Palms are still facing the ceiling. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Good. And home stretch. We've got 4, 3 as I crack every bone in my foot. Last one. And then come all the way back down. Fantastic. We're going to do your tricep work here while we're with your heavier weights as well, even a little bit of back work. So toes will remain facing forward. We are today, just to give you a little forewarning, we are today going to add in this hinged position, some bounces down with the legs as well. So when I say pulse down, I mean through the legs, okay? So just to give you a little forewarning. So weights are down by your side. Knees take a deep, deep bend. Upper body hinges forward. Remember, how far forward is your choice. The farther down you go, the harder it is. The less of a hinge you have, the easier it'll be on your low back especially. So choose the one that feels right for you. Weights will reach forward out over your shoulders or under your shoulders. Elbows will bend, shoulders will kick down. Now those weights go back and in, back and in. And remember, if you get in this position and it just doesn't feel right in your low back, it just doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel like it's doing what it should be doing, you are more than welcome to do this standing. It'll be the same concept. You'll take a little tiny lift with the chest, a good little bend to the knees, and you'll kick your weights back behind your body. Good. Every couple of reps, I just want you to check in here with the tops of your shoulders, right? Remember, this area is really easy to over-engage in this position. So remember, try to think, open up your collarbone. Send your neck nice and long, right? Think like a giraffe here. You want your neck to be as long as it can possibly be in this position. We'll do 4 more. 3, 2, now holding those weights back behind you. Arms go up, up, up. Okay, so this is where we're going to add in the legs. So we're going to keep those arms pulsing up. In 4, we'll add in the legs. In 2, so arms continue up, but legs go down. Up and down, up and down. Sending most of your body weight down into your heel. Even if you're standing, still bending those knees. Same thing. And we've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Then go ahead and bend your elbows to pull those weights back in. Send your weights back underneath your shoulders. Pull those shoulders back, neck long. From here, weights will go open, close, open, close. Good. Focusing right on squeezing your shoulder blades together at the top. Lift and lower. We've got 4, 3, 2, and last one. Go ahead and stand yourselves all the way up. Trade out your heavier weights for your lighter weights. We're going to do just a little bit more shoulder work with these. Not too much. Okay, so we're going to start here remember, a first position. So we're going to bring your heels together, toes to a little V, making sure that all 10 of your toes are comfortably on the floor, particularly those pinky toes, right? Feel free to take a little bend or to keep your knees straight, whatever you prefer. We're going to go ahead and do a little arm lift and a step out at the same time. So let's get those legs moving first. Starting on the right side, you'll open, close, open, close, open, close. Okay. From here, we're going to take those palms, turn them to the back of the room. Each foot that steps out, the same arm lifts. We lift, lower, lift, lower. You're going to hear every bone in my body crack today. It's okay. Good. We've got 2 more on each side here. Last one, then both arms together will go up. So here we go. Both arms go lift, lower, lift, lower. Don't forget to breathe. Try to exhale on the way down. Ooh, tripping over my own feet. Good. 2 more on each leg. Last one here. And then coming back to the center, bend those knees just a little bit. Turn your palms in to face each other. Roll those shoulders back to go lift, lower. A very slight bend to the knees, right? Just a little bit. Because we're going to add a deeper bend to the knees here. So again, a lot of arm and leg together. Sorry about that. So keeping those arms going, we're going to bend, lift, bend, lift. Keeping those heels rooted to the floor, pinky toes rooted to the floor. For the last 4, 3, 2, and last one. Awesome job. Go ahead and set those weights down if you need it. Now would be a good time for some water. And then we'll stretch it out. Okay. So let's come back into your neck stretches here. So feet right underneath the hips. Feeling pretty comfortable, hopefully. A little tired in the upper body, hopefully. So hands will come down by your side. Right ear will go over towards your right shoulder. I'm going to lose my headphone here. There we go. I've got myself all tangled. And a nice, good deep breath in. On your exhale, switch sides. And one more time, nice deep breath in. On your exhale, look down towards the floor. Try to really let gravity do the work here. Relaxing into the back of the neck as best you can. Trying to get your chin to touch all the way down to your chest. Or at least aim for that, even if it doesn't get all the way there. And then open up your mouth nice and wide to look up at the ceiling. Keep looking up. Pull your bottom jaw up to your top jaw to close your mouth. And then come back to the center. Grab your right arm, bring it across your chest, hug it in a little closer, stretching out the back of your shoulder. And then let it go to switch sides. Left arm will open, it'll come across, hug it in. Good, and let it go to take your right arm up towards the ceiling, bending that elbow, stretching your hand back. Either a little tug for your elbow, or if you can get those hands together, you go right ahead and do so. Trying to keep your chin up as best you can in this position. Try not to look down at the floor. I know sometimes a little easier said than done there. And then holding on to this stretch, we're going to lean over towards your left. And then back up to the top to one more time. Switch arms. Opposite arm will reach up. It'll bend. Same two choices. Either a little tug for your elbow, or again, if you can get those fingertips together, you go right for it. Same thing. Try to keep your chin up. And holding on to whichever version of the stretch you have, taking your upper body to the opposite side. And back up to the top. Let that arm go. One last stretch here. We're going to take those hands behind your back, interlacing your fingers, sending those shoulders down, trying your best to straighten your elbows if you can. If you can't, that's okay too. I barely can, so it's all right. If you'd like to deepen this stretch just a little bit more, you are welcome to fold your upper body forward. And if you are folded forward, take a little bend to your knees, slowly roll yourself back up to stand, and then release those hands. All right, so I'm going to give you a little mental preparedness moment here. We're going to do a lot of inner thigh work today. So, we got this. Go ahead and grab your ball. Grab your chair, or go ahead and stand a little bit closer to the wall that you're going to stand next to if that's how you're going to go for class today. I'm going to stand kind of over here a little bit. I might even, let me move a little closer to you so you can actually see what's going on. And I'll move my mat out of the way. So either ball or pillow, whatever you've got working with you today, that is going to get tucked between your thighs. Remember, somewhere above your knees is ideal. Once you have that equipment there, look down at your feet. Make sure your toes are pointing forward, holding on for stability. Opposite arm can do whatever you want it to do. It can come out to the side. It can come out to the front. It can lift over your head. It can go to your hip. It can be in the ocean over here. Whatever makes your heart happy, you go for it. So remember, a little bend to the knees the entire time. That's going to protect your knees. It's also going to help your pelvis stay in this nice long position. So pelvis forward, tailbone down, shoulders nice and open wide, starting with your heels. Here we go. We take your heels up and down, up and down. While we're here in the beginning, if you can balance without holding on to anything, feel free. Go right ahead and do so. I would recommend that once we get to that heel lift hold and we get into some of the thigh work, go ahead and hold on then, right? I'd love to see you one day, all of us magically wake up with Wonder Woman kind of balance, but right, I'd rather see you hold on the whole time rather than fight for the balance portion when we hold. Good. So we'll do 4 more heel lifts. 3, 2, holding those heels as high as they can go on this last one. Give one more check into your pelvis. Go ahead and tuck those hips forward, send those shoulders back. Remember, always starting with your posture first. Okay. Now, starting at this pretty high position, we're going to bounce down, down, down. So we're going to try to really focus on keeping all of our bounces to a really, really, really small range of motion, right? If you show this to you from the side, I'm barely going down. This is a nice, good warm-up for those thighs. It's a good warm-up for your inner thighs. Getting your legs accustomed to holding on to this ball. Don't worry, we're going to get a lot lower, so you'll feel that shake eventually. Okay, we'll do 4 more here. So it's 4, 3, 2, also at this high position, so go ahead and take a good squeeze on the ball. In, in. So we're going to do this pattern in 3 separate levels, going high, a medium level, and then a very low level. Remember, pay attention to your knees. If they don't feel good, come up, right? Pay attention to your posture. At each level, I want you to focus on the posture first. Get that in check. Cue into yourself every couple of rounds, right? Make sure you're still looking forward, not looking down. Remember, if you look down, you're going to come down. So try to keep looking up. Start there, and then find the legs. Okay, so we'll do 4 here. 3, 2, now a pelvic tuck, tuck. Remember, each and every pelvic tuck, glutes, butt is not involved. It's lower abs only. Good. This song is going to be stuck in my head. That's why I'm laughing to myself. Also, remember, feel free if you need it with your calves. We're going to be up on your toes for a little while here. If you need it, you can put those heels down for a couple reps. It's totally fine. 4 more tucks. 3, 2. Now go ahead and take your whole body down from the knees about 2 or 3 inches. You're now at a halfway point, not seated in a chair, but halfway to that seat. Okay, so here we go, starting with a little bounce coming down, down. If this arm out here is starting to get tired, maybe try it in the front. If you're not quite ready to put it all the way down, but if it's starting to kind of say, how much longer are we going to be up here? Feel free to change the position. Same thing, checking in with your posture first, right? Collarbones wide, neck long, gaze is forward, and tiny little pelvic tuck, keeping the back nice and long. We've got 8 more here. We'll squeeze the ball next in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So knees stay still, but they squeeze in, in, in. My legs are already shaking. So, putting as much effort into each and every rep as we possibly can. Remember, bar is really, it is tough. This is where it is the same as dance, right? I can't come to your house and tell you get lower, right? So listen to your body, right? By the end of this set, we do want your legs to be tired. We want them to be shaking. This is going to be your big top of the thigh and inner thigh burner in this class, right? So put the effort in. Try to push through the strain, the fire, and go for that shake as hard as I know it can be. For 4, 3, 2, now pelvis tucks. Tuck, 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 tuck. Right? And we know this. I'm going to have to put my feet down for a second now. Okay, so making sure that, again, relaxing your butt, smaller range of motion, still keeping those knees pointing forward. So we're still squeezing that ball a little bit. We've got one more level to go, so we're not quite done after this, but we're almost through with the tucks. We've got 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to start it one more time from the top, getting even lower. Here we go. We bounce down, down, down. If those heels were on the floor, try to pick them back up. You're going to see me shaking pretty ferociously here. You probably hear it in my voice too. It's okay. Good. We've got 8 more than a squeeze on the ball in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Knees come in. In. Right? And we're pretty much, I'm going to show you this from the side just for a second so you can see how low I am. I'm pretty much coming down as if I'm about to sit in a chair, right? Really low. Still trying to keep your posture up, right? It's really easy as we start to get down here to let your chest fall forward. It's going to make it so much easier on the legs. Try to avoid that. We want to make it hard on the legs. Send those knees forward. Send your hips right on top of your heels for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last time, hips go tuck, tuck. I don't know if you heard that. Okay, don't forget, breathe through it. You're almost there. If those heels are down, try to pick them back up. And this is it, last 8 here. So it's 8. Can you get even lower? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and come down. Take that ball out. Holy cannoli. Okay, you won't need the ball for a little bit. Thank goodness, huh? Right? Yeah. So go ahead and just give yourself a little second here. Kind of wiggle those legs around. Good. Maybe wiggle your feet around a little bit. Okay, so we're going to come into a slightly larger range of motion now, which would be nice. Change it up a little bit. Still facing the same direction. We're going to do this facing both directions here, just to give you a little mental preparedness. Not super long. So stepping back out into your wide second. Toes will open, knees will open. Outside arm can do whatever you'd like. Okay, from here we're going to come down about halfway. Again, checking in with your posture. Hips still forward, knees pressing back. That's where your butt gets involved here. Shoulders open, gaze lifts. From here, outside leg is going to lift up to the toe to knee. So remember, passe. So we're going to go bounce, bounce, lift. Bounce, bounce, lift. Keeping this standing heel on the floor for now. If you're accustomed to taking this outside arm up, feel free. Good. Remember, with your toe, right? Thinking of it like target practice. We're trying to get to the same spot on your leg each and every time that that leg lifts. Squeezing your abs at the top, so sending that belly button back, squeeze, exhaling. We'll do 2 more, then that foot is going to stay up. Last one, we're going to bend the knee, keep the knee bent. I'm a little too close to the bar. Okay, from here, bottom heel is going to go lift, lower. Looking out at this knee, make sure it's still pointing at a diagonal. Right, if I showed you this from the side, it's not all the way back. It's definitely not all the way forward. It's right in the middle. Good for 4, 3, 2. Trying to hold this heel up to kick your leg open, bend, open, bend. Leg is also out at a diagonal. It's not all the way side. It's not all the way front. Right in the middle. So we go kick, bend, kick, bend, kick, bend. I know it's hard. You're almost there. This is 4, 3, 2, and last one. Come on down. Awesome job. I'm going to move to the opposite bar so you can still see what I'm doing. Go ahead and spin yourself around, either moving to the opposite side if you're on a chair, moving the chair if you'd like. I'm out of breath. Okay. So making sure that you don't do the same leg twice. That's really all we're going for. Otherwise, you'll hate me in the morning, and you should if that's the case, if you do the same leg twice. So same thing, starting with your posture. Feet are a little bit wider than hips. Toes are out. Knees are out. We squeeze your butt. Protect your knees. Outside arm can come out as well. Come down about halfway. Okay, we got bounce, bounce, lift. Here we go. Bounce, bounce, lift. Bounce, bounce, lift. Bounce, bounce, lift. Exhaling at the top. Trying to again find that same spot on the standing leg, toe to knee. It's going to engage the back of the leg to get that foot up, right? If you're somebody who's like, my toe never hits my knee, think this knee up, this foot in. Okay, so it's going to be a little lift from the hip flexor, a little squeeze in the hamstrings, back of the leg to get that toe to the knee. Not super fast, right? Sometimes we do these pretty quick. I want you to focus on all of those things. I want you to have the time to kind of think about all right, lift my knee, squeeze my foot in. Ready? We go lift the knee, squeeze the foot. Remember, each and every lift, belly button squeezes back, lower abs pull in. Not only for a strong core, but also to protect your low back. We've got 2 to go here. This is it, last one. So keeping that foot lifted, still too close to the bar. Bottom heel goes lift, lower, lift, lower. Okay, now this is also where back of the leg has got to start doing a lot of work, right? Trying not to rest that foot. I'm going to get even a little closer to the camera so you can see. Not resting your foot on your leg, but instead tapping it, right? So go lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. 3 more. 2, keeping that heel lifted. Now this leg goes kick, bend, kick, bend, kick, bend. I've got good news. After this, we're going to lay down. So that's exciting. Kick, bend, kick, bend, kick, bend, kick, bend. Last 4, last 3, last 2, and last 1. Come on down. Awesome job. Shake it out a little bit. Well deserved. All right, we're going to stretch a tiny bit for your tops of your legs and your calf muscles before we come down to the floor. So holding on for some balance, you're going to take your right foot, grab it in your right hand. Take that knee, point it down towards the floor. Good, then let that foot go. Switch sides, grabbing your left foot in your left hand. Same thing, taking that knee next to your opposite knee, pointing it down to the floor. Good, then let that left foot go. Take that left foot behind you. Let's stretch out your calf muscle here. Try to get your heel down on the floor. Lean your upper body forward. If you can't get your foot or your heel all the way down on the floor, that's perfectly fine too. We just spent a lot of time on your toes, so it might not feel best to get your heel all the way down. That's okay too. Remember, just listen to your body. It'll tell you what it wants. Has a magical way of doing that. And then step your left foot in and switch sides. Step your right foot back. Heel will reach towards the floor. And then step your right foot all the way in. Okay, so you will need your ball down on the floor. We're going to do a little bit of work here laying down on your stomach, a little bit of work laying down on your back. So if laying all the way down flat is tough, right? If any vertigo kind of things, feel free to grab another pillow or even like a shirt, ball it up. You can place it underneath your head, either your forehead or the back of your head in either position, okay? So I'm just going to move my mat back to where it was. Grab my ball. And we are going to start on your stomach using the ball. So we're going to do some back of the leg work first. I'm going to do this. Sorry, my knees are so loud. I'm going to do this on my forearms. If I lay all the way down on my forehead, I will crush this microphone and you won't be able to hear me anymore. That would stink. So I'm going to do it on my forearms. I don't recommend doing it that way. I would take your head all the way down to the floor. Rest it on top of your hands. So go ahead and come down to your belly. And we are going to start with the right leg. So that means that you will take the ball behind your right knee, reaching back, squeezing. Okay. So again, I would recommend that you stack one hand on top of the other and you rest your head on top of it. Your hands, again, if you need a little bit more lift, you can grab another ball, you can grab a pillow, you can grab anything that's soft that you can rest your forehead on. Okay, so from here, opposite foot just relaxes, pushes into the floor gently, not too much. Try to squeeze into your lower abs so that that tailbone still reaches down. So a little tiny pelvic tuck here. Knee points straight down to the floor, toes point straight up to the ceiling. From here, we're going to lift your knee ever so slightly off of the floor and then kick your heel in. Right? A lot of times we will do this series standing. Why do I like to do it laying down? Well, it really lets you feel the back of the leg, right? When we're standing, right, the opposite hip ends up doing so much work because it's holding up all of your body. So it's hard to feel the back of the leg doing as much work as it is doing. Here on the floor, it's really all that we've got to focus on. So we take out some of the other challenges and we really dive into your hamstrings. And remember, your hamstrings are a group of muscles. There's a few muscles in the back of your legs that, kind of weave together to make that group called your hamstrings. So because of that, we're going to do some things where you're going to kind of change the direction that your knee is pointing in, or even that your foot is pointing in. And that's going to just work out those different muscles so that we get a nice balanced back of the leg. Not just one of those muscles, but hopefully all of those muscles. So we'll do 4 more here. 3, 2. Now we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to flex that foot. Opens up the back of the leg, the muscle in the back of the leg a little bit more. Remember, try to hover that knee as best you can off of the floor. Kick your foot in. Right? Also, one of the benefits of doing this on the floor is that you don't lose the ball as easily. Right? Okay. You should definitely start to feel it in the back of the leg, right? I've said this before when we've been in person, we've done this, but a lot of times you'll kind of feel the back of the leg just a little bit more intensely, or a little bit faster, I should say, than you will in your quads. It kind of feels almost like a little bit more of like a cramping sensation rather than a burning sensation. Don't worry, you're not alone. It's not wrong. That's usually just how the body reacts to it, so it's okay. So we've got 8 to go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and now go ahead and reach back for that ball. Send that leg nice and long. It should feel pretty good. You can feel free to kind of wiggle that leg out a little bit. We are going to switch sides. So taking the ball behind the left knee, squeezing it. Good. Remember, opposite foot that we just worked, it can just relax. Go ahead and find those lower abs just a little bit, right? It's not going to be very severe in this position, but send that tailbone down just a little bit. Try to hover that knee off of the floor. Kick your heel in, pointing those toes to start. One of the other benefits to doing this on the floor, lying down, rather than doing it standing, is that, again, right, all of our bodies, every body, it's very natural. It should happen because we're human. Every body creates just slightly different dominant and slightly non-dominant side, right? Slightly stronger side, slightly weaker side. Here, laying down, when we don't have some of those other distractions, like, oh my goodness, my standing leg is gonna fall off kind of distraction, we can kind of see and feel, okay, how does this side compare to the other side, right? And again, that's one of the things that I love about bars, that it really, the exercises, it tells you, hey, don't know if you knew this before, but your left quad is really, really, really strong. Your right quad is a little less strong, but it's the opposite in the back of your leg. And this way, as you're going through your exercises, as we're going through these classes, you can kind of take that information with you, use it so that you know, all right, if I want to try to balance this out, I have to push through this right quad so I can get it as strong as the left side. So it's also one of the benefits to doing it down here on the floor. Hopefully I distracted you long enough. We'll do 4, 3, 2, and now same exercise, flexing that foot, opening up the muscles in the back of the leg, still hovering that knee as best we can to kick your heel in. If you need to adjust where the ball is sitting, if it does start to kind of slide out at any point, that's okay. Go ahead. You can touch it, you can adjust it. If it falls out, you can either decide to let it roll away from you, or you can go and roll after it. That's perfectly fine too. Good. We're almost there. And we've got 8 more to go. So this is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Go ahead and reach back for that ball. Send that leg nice and long. Wiggle those heels side to side a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to flip over to your back, and we're going to come into one last exercise here. You will still need your ball, so go ahead and roll yourself on over. Take your time. You'll probably feel that low back muscle group. There's a couple back there. Go ahead and roll yourself all the way down onto your back. Take the ball. Again, pretty high on the legs. Imagine that we're still standing. Again, if you need something for your head, feel free. Place it underneath. Heels just about underneath your knees, maybe a little bit in front if you have any knee pain. Arms are going to reach up towards the ceiling. Pelvis is still going to take that little pelvic tuck, so tailbone is still going to reach towards your heels. From here, we're going to lift those hips up, and we're going to squeeze those knees in. If your feet are too far, if you feel like your knees are knocking together, instead of being in line with your feet, go ahead and move your feet a little closer together. So in this position with the ball as high as it is, rather than being between your knees, being really between your thighs, right? That little change there in here in this position is going to change how your leg works. So it's going to be less for the top of the leg, more for the back of the leg. So still in that hamstring group muscle, or muscle group, excuse me. It's going to take a couple of reps here for you to really feel it back there. Maybe. You might feel it right away. Again, hamstrings do they kick in a slightly different way. So you might definitely feel this a little sooner than you would expect to. And again, you'll start to feel this pretty high on the inner thigh, kind of almost close to where the inner seam of your pants or your leggings would be. Good, and we'll do 8 more here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now let's get into those glutes. Go ahead and squeeze your butt to lift it up. I wanted to finish class today with some Footloose. I don't know what was wrong with me, but I forgot about this song. Gasp, I know. I felt like I was a terrible human there for a second. And I was going through making this playlist, and I was like, ooh, Footloose. Okay, yeah, we're going to end class with some Footloose today. I'm also the worst dancer ever. I've never seen Footloose. I've got homework. I have to go home and watch it. Every now and then my fiance reminds me that I'm a bad dancer because I've never seen Footloose, which I give him the stink eye for saying. But I do feel like it's true a little bit. One day. We'll get there. Okay, we're almost there. You're probably like, oh my gosh, are our hips ever going to come down? Or is she frozen? Almost there. We've got 8 to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and come down. Okay, take that ball out. Let it roll away from you. Thankfully, huh? Right? I've done a lot of work with that ball today. So go ahead and start just here by hugging your knees into your chest. If you'd like to rock and roll a little bit side to side, you're welcome to do so. If you need a little back stretch, okay, especially in that lower back area, go ahead and find center. Go ahead and roll your shoulders up. Make a tiny little ball. And then release your head down. Release your feet to the floor. We're going to stretch out your hips. So right ankle is going to step over top of your left knee. Hug those knees back into your chest, either grabbing behind or in front of your left leg. Just flexing your right foot here to help protect your ankle a little bit so it doesn't curve in. And then send your left foot down to the floor. Send your right foot up towards the ceiling. If this knee doesn't get straight, that's okay. Go ahead and hug that leg in a little closer to your to your chest. Hug your leg to your leg. That doesn't make any sense. Hug your leg to your chest. If you need or want a deeper stretch, you can always extend your left leg. That's perfectly fine. Okay, and then we're going to do a little inner thigh stretch. Did all that inner thigh work today. So right foot to your right hand, right leg is going to open out to the side just a couple of inches until you feel that pull in your inner thigh. It's going to kind of happen at a slightly different point for all of us. So again, don't worry too much about what I look like. Try to focus on how it feels in your own body. And then take your right leg up towards the ceiling, and then right foot will come to the floor. From here, switching sides. So left ankle over top of the right knee, flexing your left foot, hugging those knees back in, grabbing behind or in front of your right leg. And then send your right foot to the floor, left leg up towards the ceiling, hugging your left leg in towards your chest. And then inner thigh stretch, so left leg will come into your left hand, left leg will open out to the side. Again, if you took that bottom leg out on the opposite side, try to do it here. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay too. It doesn't have to always be perfectly even. All right, and then go ahead and take that left leg back up to the ceiling. Go ahead and take your left foot down to the floor. Roll to your side, whatever side feels a little more natural for you, and then sit yourself all the way up. Finding a nice comfortable spot here for your legs. Okay. I told you we were going to do a lot of inner thigh work today. So hopefully you felt that, right? Really right on the top, right in the center, and a little bit in the back of the leg as well. So inner thighs, you're gonna remember me tomorrow. So great job today. We're gonna take one last deep breath in all together. So inhale, stretch those hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, blow it on out. Thank you all so much for joining me this Thursday morning. Happy New Year. Hopefully this year brings us all of the things that last year didn't. Only time will tell. But thank you as always for your continued support, and I'll see you next week. Not next year. Next week. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.